Okay. Good afternoon, class. This is my classical music presentation. My name is Paul Volaris, and this teaching is for anyone who plays music, piano, and specifically classical music. I'm just trying to find a repertoire on what you want to play for, like maybe an exercise recital or just on your own free time. So on to our next slide. So what we'll be learning about today are these unknown composers. As we play, as pianists, we all know a bunch of these popular composers: Mozart, Liszt, Chopin, Bach, Beethoven. But what about those other people, those unknown composers? And these two people, I'll name them later. I want you to know about them later on. So, to the next one, why? What is important about knowing these unknown composers? As a learning pianist myself, throughout the many years, I've been looking through these many composers, as Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart themselves. And I've always realized that they didn't really fit my style. And I was like wondering if this was all it. But then I realized that by just looking at these popular composers, I kind of limited myself as a pianist to just looking at these popular composers rather than just looking at this broad section and looking at these unknown composers and maybe trying to find one that fits my own style. Going on to the next slide, it says everyone has their own style. You can basically put these into these three types. Big and majestic, the ones with usually a lot of octaves, very full sound. I know Israel likes that kind of stuff. Second one, we have graceful, soft kind of thing. What was that? Gel? No, but then gel's like basically everything. An emphasized melody with other parts complementing it. And third one, quick and nimble, just those fast songs with those really like fast runs, those scales, chromatic scales, and stuff like that. So going on to our second slide, my poem is, what about the middle? The people that don't really fit into those kind of styles. People don't really fit into those popular composers, those romantic composers, or the classical periods, romantic periods, and stuff like that. So going on to our unknown composers, number one, Charles Henry Valentin Alkin. That is actually his first name. That's like his first name. It's a really long name. So we usually call him CHV. CHV Alkin. I would consider this guy Liszt's Liszt. Because I don't know if any of you listen to classical music. Liszt is popular as a composer known for making extremely hard pieces to play. And for those people trying to challenge themselves, just wondering if this is really it. It's like the most, it's like the hardest one. There's actually someone out there who basically outlists Liszt himself with very, very, very challenging pieces out there. And it isn't hard for the sake of being hard. It's actually very interesting in how his music pans out. The very special characteristic in that, while you can see in France Liszt songs, I'll just play this one right here. It's not right. That one, it has its own melody. But then he just adds in some like very incredibly difficult components of the song. However, with Alkin, this guy makes it so that the song is supposed to be hard in order for it to actually express itself. Basically, the song is itself through the hardness of that song. There isn't actually, you can't really simplify it into terms where you can just like create out a melody and then bam, you made a simple version. You basically have to stick with how it is. Going on to this one, its name, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it is translated into rail. I think it's just the Canada app. there's no way you're going to be able to simplify that into just a melody and like some simplified chords. His songs literally embodied that the feeling of a rail. It's like there's something running down a rail, and that's how his songs are. It isn't just hard for the sake of being hard, but he uses the complexity and difficulty of these musics as its own expression of music. So going on to the next guy, Louis Moreau Gottschalk, 1829-1869. He's actually has a really broad range concerning what he has composed, but when I researched, a lot of people like to say that he is this pre-ragtime person that has influenced the future people for that ragtime, like Scott Joplin and stuff, especially with the kind of music that he creates. But even him, he actually has his own nickname called America's Own List. It's really interesting because it's really broad. He creates songs that sound like the predecessors for ragtime music, and he creates extremely hard songs that remind you of Liszt's grand, big octaves kind of songs. So going on to this one, next clip, you can just see some reminiscence of the ragtime in there. I'm not probably
Around where?
in there. But yeah, so that's what I want. So my purpose of this lesson is to, for those classical pianists trying to learn, trying to broaden their repertoire, you shouldn't try to limit yourself to popular composers. If you're trying to search for a certain style, you can probably look into these unknown kind of composers, because back then these composers themselves during their time were actually as popular as the big names as today. For some reason, those popularities just didn't stay. So yeah, that's my lesson. Thank you.
Yay!